What?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. We'll highlight all that. Don't you worry.
I'm just
But of
saying,
course,
you gotta remind people.
Subscribe right now.
Subscribe.
subscribe. Of course.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Do you remember the plot to 22 Jump Street was they had the drug in college? It's called Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's just instantly what I thought of when you mentioned having Wi-Fi.
I literally just got the email.
Oh my god, dude! This is going to be maybe the most like unhinged, maybe crazy week of my professional media life, and I'm so ready for it.
See, the funny thing for me is I travel every fucking weekend in the summer, pretty much from June to July and then September. I've never been more stressed out of my mind for sure.
I mean, I think also we find ourselves in a unique situation, right? Like you obviously have the PLL all day Tuesday, and then you got to drive down in the middle of the night, and then we have a full week's worth of stuff. And I if anything, honestly, like I kind of feel bad for you because as the cornerstone to all the operation here, you're basically not going to sleep for 6 days, editing, recording out of a hotel room, covering content for the first big true like jumping point launch of this podcast's lifespan. Like it's a very exciting week, but I'm with you. It's a very stressful week. If you need help to editing, I'm more than welcome to assisting you.
I texted Deej earlier and I was like, dude, I've never been more grateful for how seamless our road trips are for PLL. They're so simple. And then I was like, yeah, they're simple, you big dumb dipshit, because they're 2 maximum 3 days.
Yeah, the unfortunate reality of covering golf is that it's 4 days and it's just nonstop. And the other issue is where, unlike the PLL or in case you get Owen's case, F1, right? Like you can be contained to one spot and get everything. We're going to be operating on a 35-acre golf course with 72 of the best players in the world and so many people to want to talk to between content creators and pros and head officials. And like, we might barely sniff a quarter of this golf course, realistically.
Which is why
walking around trying to take it all in.
I was like, you and Ethan handle all the golf stuff. I'll go shake all the hands of all the big wigs.
Yeah, no, we're gonna need the business cards together. We're going to need.
They'll appreciate my Gucci and Louis bags right here.
I was
only designer.
You know what we should do? We should like get stickers of just like QR codes and just like plaster them all on everybody.
Yeah, I got to find a new sticker plug because the website I used to use, the founder of the company is a big Looney Tunes psychopath.
Sounds like we need to do some work. I might find a custom printer in the Philadelphia area to just print up some stickers for us to pass out, give to the folks. Underground Sports Philadelphia coming at you live from the first golf event in the Philadelphia area since 2018 and the first time at the Philadelphia Cricket Club in 180 years. Like crazy.
What a time.
Sorry. The 180-year history of this golf course. Cricket club, golf course, whatever you want to call it.
Can't believe that this golf course is older than my high school.
It's like actually insane. Also, did you see the trophy for the week? Yeah. It's like a cricket stick. Oh my god. Absolutely sick. Question is though, what are they going to do then the following year when they go back to Quail Hollow? This is a really cool like one-off trophy that somebody is going to be able to win.
And for the people wondering, well, yeah, Kyle, your high school. No, my high school is one of the oldest high schools like in the nation. My high school was founded in the 1800s, and this golf course is older than my high school.
My high school was founded in 1930.
I think I'm 1870. Yeah, 1870.
When was the Civil War? The Civil War 61-65. Wow. So your school just supersedes the Civil War.
My high school was in 8th grade when the Civil War ended.
The school itself was in the 8th grade.
It hadn't elevated to a high school yet.
That's actually insane to think about. That half of the student body, their parents were off at war.
That's crazy.
Like that's a horrifying predicament to fall under, I feel. But also,
I always get blown away when I see like athletes and stuff like stopped playing their sport to go and fight in the war.
Like Ted Williams stopped playing
insane.
sports and then came back and still hit 400. Like, or Joe DiMaggio, I think, hit his hitting streak after the war, if I'm not wrong.
It's wild.
Like, that's just ludicrous. Also, I think it's like crazy too when you look at this, not related to sports, but like I feel like we've mentioned this on the show before. You never like see two people or like two events that happen in the same like timeline, but they don't feel like they match up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I found out like last year that Harriet Tubman died right around the same time that Rosa Parks was born.
Or when you find out that Pablo Picasso is not as old as you'd think.
Didn't he die in like the 1920s?
No, it was later.
Even Morrison,
I believe. Picasso died in 1973.
What? Oh my God.
He was born in 1881, died in 1973.
Actually, you want to laugh? Like
my parents were 12 years old when Picasso died.
Oh, here we go. Because Reddit always gives you the answer. What are two events that took place in the same time in history, but don't seem like they would have? Someone goes, the Mongols fought the Crusaders and the samurais at the same time. Genghis Khan out here fighting a bunch of middle-aged European men and then samurais. That's actually incredible. Let's see. What else is there? The filing cabinet was invented the same year as the remote control boat and 30 years before sliced bread.
Damn.
Someone goes, the fact that sliced bread was a novel innovation, that it became part of a saying, always blows my mind.
Literally.
When pilgrims were landing on Plymouth Rock, shout out to Ethan, you could already visit what is now Santa Fe, New Mexico, to stay at a hotel, eat at a restaurant, and buy Native American silver.
Jesus criminies.
That was a thing. Let's see. 1912 saw the maiden voyage of the Titanic, as well as the birth of vitamins, X-rays, crystallography, and MDMA.
Did you know that? Because obviously in World War II, like the production of vehicles and everything had to be paused for heavy machinery, guns, all that kind of stuff. Smarties, the candy, they were made in the same factories that were producing gunpowder.
Is that why they taste disgusting?
Not disgusting, but that's why they're that chalky consistency.
Sweet tarts will always be better than Smarties. Forever.
Depends on the mood you're in.
The first wagon train of the Oregon Trail headed out the same year the fax machine was invented.
The fact that we're still using fax machines this day and age is quite absurd to me.
Shakespeare was still alive when the British began colonizing America.
That checks out.
That's just like weird.
That checks out.
The Eastern Roman Empire fell only 40 years before Columbus reached the Americas. That's freaky too. Oh, actually, here. This is what you just said. Pablo Picasso died the same year that Pink Floyd released Dark Side of the Moon.
Yes.
That's horrifying because that man should be like 400 years old.
Picasso feels like he's so much older.
Oh my God.
This is one of the weird food ones. During the late 1700s to early 1800s, sushi was invented at the same time as the sandwich.
All right, here. These are 4 that I think are just like really like crazy. NASA's Gemini program was finishing at the same time that plate tectonics, as we know today, were becoming refined and accepted by the scientific community. So the moon landing was the same time as the acceptance of plate tectonics. Coca-Cola, the company, is only 31 years younger than the entire country of Italy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Crazy.
The first wave of Auschwitz prisoners began to arrive in 1940, which is the same year that McDonald's was founded.
Yeah, actually, a few days was the first like few prisoners, and then McDonald's was founded in San Bernardino, California. Marilyn Monroe and Queen Elizabeth II were born in the same year.
The last person to be executed by firing squad in the United States happened on the same day that Toy Story 3 was released, which was June 18th, 2010.
Wasn't there someone who recently...
we were still doing firing squads in 2010. That's insane.
Well, aren't they trying to do that to Luigi Mangione?
Like
I
he
can't
asked
keep up
for it.
with him.
Yeah, he asked for the firing squad, right? Or if they do get him the death penalty, I think that, yeah, I think. Only one politician in history knew both George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. It was John Quincy Adams.
Jeez. Oh, what was the thing I saw the other day?
Spain was still a fascist dictatorship when Microsoft was founded.
Oh, I saw a thing because we were laughing about this the other day where the Rizzler met Julia Louis-Dreyfus at the Thunderbolts red carpet.
She had no idea who he was.
Somebody said the Rizzler is now only 4 degrees of separation from Richard Nixon. And it traces back from Richard Dreyfuss all the way back to Richard Nixon.
Let me ask you this. What's like all right, so actually we were talking about this the other day. Like, what is the most interesting like degree of separation that you are to a famous person? Or again, this might be something that we talked about on the show.
I mean, I find it fascinating that I've shook the hand of Jeffrey Wright.
I'm sorry, you just totally broke up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I find it fascinating that I shook the hand of Jeffrey Wright.
Who's that?
Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman, the Watcher in Marvel. He just made his first appearance in The Last of Us in the most recent episode. He's also been like a ton of things. I met him in September. So when we did our The Last of Us episode 4 breakdown, Christian was also at Street Lacrosse when we met him, and we said, and our good friend Jeffrey Wright.
So I'm
1 degree of separation from Vanessa Kirby.
That is true. That is true. I've shaken Michael Jordan's hand. I've taken a piss next to our current president, Donald Trump. I'm 2 degrees of separation away from Jackie Robinson. My great grandma.
I've also met the big dumb dipshit orange man.
My great grandma used to have members of the Brooklyn Dodgers for dinner at their place, and so
I think I'm 4 degrees of separation from Bob Uecker.
Interesting.
So Don Money, who played baseball for the Phillies and the Brewers back in the day, who's also the grandfather of Buddy Kennedy, who plays for the Phillies. I went to high school with Buddy's cousins, but my grandfather used to do all the plumbing on Don Money's house. And Don Money and Bob Uecker were very close when Don Money played for the Brewers.
That's crazy.
So it goes my grandfather, my parents, me, and then a branch off connection. I might even be closer because I know Buddy.
So, all right. So this is a fun one, right? So, there's a local neighborhood on Long Island called Brentwood, and it is not like what you think in California, where like Brentwood is where like OJ used to live before he killed his wife. Brentwood now is like kind of sort of the hood, but it's the home of EPMD, the rap group, Bismarcky, and a few other big names like in the rap game from Long Island. Kay's mom went to high school with Bismarcky. Therefore, I am 2 degrees of separation away from Bismarcky, Jackie Robinson, and Chris Angel and Flavor Flav, which is a very interesting like footnote of all of the folks from Long Island. Last thing here, Nintendo was founded in 1888, the same year the Washington Monument was finished, and the same year Jack the Ripper was on the loose. That right there is a crazy like parallel.
Also, shout out Bismarcky, known Eagles fan. Rest in peace to a legend.
If you haven't listened to it yet, I highly encourage you do. Bismarcky's rendition of Benny and the Jets. It truly is something just absolutely remarkable. And like you need to listen to it. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Get in the Hole podcast. Kyle Bennett, Ethan Hogan, Steve McAvoy here. Another big week in the golf world. It is Truist Championship week, the week that we've been waiting for a long time, as golf returns to the great city of Philadelphia for one of the best tournaments in the game of golf. We are streaming live here from the Underground on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on YouTube, wherever you can get your favorite podcasts. You can find us bringing you all the news, betting analysis, and tips from the golfing space, presented today and every day by our great friends over at 47 Brand. You know, the summer is right around the corner. It's starting to get really nice out. The warm weather is here. It is 70s from here on out up in the Northeast, and you can jump in on all the action with 47 Brand, getting your best headwear and apparel for the golf course and beyond. Of course, their brand new styles that are dropping almost every single week. And you can support all of our podcasts, from soccer to F1 to hopefully lacrosse eventually, TGL and the PGA Tour, with official merchandise from 47 Brand. You can check the link in our description, and you can get your hands on some awesome 47 merch, free shipping when you create an account. Again, at the link in our description. 47 Brand, keeping you looking fresh and styled out for those awesome days on the course and beyond. Also want to give a shout out to the folks over at Paramount Plus. Of course, with the Truist Championship coming this weekend, you can catch tournament action on CBS Paramount Plus with Showtime plan, streaming on both Saturday and Sunday, 3 to 6:30 on Saturday, 3 to 6 o'clock on Sunday, only at Paramount Plus. Check them out in the link in our description as well. KB, we start off with a great show and a exciting week, to say the very least, because we're finally getting the chance to do something that this show has never been able to experience. We're going to cover PGA golf live on scene.
Yeah, Steve, we have our first credentials for this podcast, joining Underground Sports Philadelphia, joining Outside the Box, joining the Underground Circuit. And what do 2 of those 3 shows have in common with this show, Steve, that they just so happen to get credentials? Who would have thunk? You just needed me to come on the show for this show to get credentialed.
Wow. All right. Gas yourself up a little more, you dingus. You know, the only thing that we're missing from all of this, we're going to possibly see Jason Kelsey. We're going to see Kyle Lowry in that gigantic, audacious booty. We're going to see some pro golfers. Although we're not seeing Scottie this week. Scottie really cucked us here.
Scottie's ducking me.
Scottie's ducking the boys. He knows that us going into this tournament and the possibility of you and I being in a room with Ricky Fowler is going to bring this like enormous energy that's just going to push Ricky to the very top and win his first event since we called his win at the Rocket Mortgage.
He knew the Ricky boys were going to be on site.
You know, we should have made T-shirts. We
Does
should have
Ethan-
made T-shirts. The Ricky boys.
Does Ethan know the origin of the Ricky boys saga?
I don't think he does. Ethan, no.
Do you care to explain the Ricky boys mantra?
It was the week after Wyndham Clark won the U.S. Open, I think, against. I think it was the week after Wyndham Clark won. So obviously, like Wyndham Clark won in the not in the playoff, but he won on 18 over Ricky Fowler at the U.S. Open. And like Ricky had been on like a 3-year, basically like sputter, where he hadn't been able to like do much. And we were going into the week, and I'm like, the field's kind of weak. It was Cam Davis, Ricky Fowler, and then everybody else. And like I think Akshay was in the field. And in unison, basically, KB and I go, Ricky Fowler is going to win the Rocket Mortgage. And lo and behold, what happens? He wins the Rocket Mortgage.
Well, no. Lo and behold, it's the final day of the event. And mind you, responsibly, Steve and I both placed hefty wagers to go all in on the hashtag Ricky Boys movement.
It was the second most hefty wager I've ever made outside of actually the Saturday.
And it went to a playoff, remember?
Yes.
And I was at my younger cousin's birthday party. This is like 4th of July weekend, Ethan. And I'm on the phone with Steve. And I'm watching the ESPN app as I'm sitting at this table getting bit up by mosquitoes, sun baking me out in the elements. And I'm just watching Ricky do his thing. And then I was like, we're going to a playoff. We're alive. And then Ricky wins in the playoff, and Steve and I are on the phone, and we just yell in unison, Ricky boys!
I doubled down, I think, too, in that moment, because I'm looking at it now. It's actually 2 weeks after the U.S. Open, because going into that week, right, Ricky had a period. He finished 13th at the Players, 10th at the Valero, 15th at the RBC Heritage, missed the Masters, 14th at the Wells Fargo, missed the cut at the PGA at Oak Hill, and then in the 4 weeks leading up to his win, went T6, T9, T5, and then T13 at the Travelers. I'm like, this is the best run Ricky Fowler's been in a long time. And going into that event, I'm like, the field was just not that strong in Detroit, coming off of the U.S. Open, followed by the Travelers, another signature event. And so, yeah, the playoff was Ricky Fowler and Colin Morikawa and Adam Hadwin. Mm-hmm. There was a 3-for-1. That was nuts. So the manifesting of possibly a Ricky Fowler win would be incredible. However, it's not the same now. However, there might be a surprise pick that I might throw out here later on in the show to talk about the potential for a comeback win that could happen in our presence in a historic setting. So that would be absolutely incredible. Yeah, so a big week here. Truist Championship will be live on scene the entirety of the week, including our episode will be on scene Sunday night at the Philadelphia Cricket Club. We'll hopefully have on some awesome interviews. We'll be posting clips throughout the week and doing some great content series with the great folks of Philadelphia. Food reviews, clips on scene, lots of great stuff happening at the Wissahickon course. Not to say that we're going to go balls to the wall, because we are. But this will be probably one of the greatest content weeks in this show's history. I'm calling it right now. Me with a microphone in the middle of Philadelphia.
I see you, white boy.
My grandpa used to always tell me, he goes, who cares what you do? You will never see these people for the rest of your life. And I'm like, well, Grandpa, I'm going to go and cover an event, and my peers of golf media are going to be around me, and I can't make a fool in front. I can't make a fool of myself in front of Paige Sporanic. I'm married,
or
also,
Chad Mum
and Chad Mum. That but Paige Sporanic, that's. My face is going to turn red if and when I meet her. And of course, also probably one of my golf media idols, Eric Anders Lang, who I did not get the nod to be his caddy for the Pro-Am. Not that I'm salty about it. Just saying, is what it is. Let's get into the news of the week because we got a lot to cover before we talk all things Truist and what to expect over the week. And we begin with the guy who's not in the field this week of the Truist. We start off with Scottie Scheffler, who tied the lowest 72-hole score at 253 in PGA Tour history, winning at 34 under par, I believe, or 31 under par. I got a 31 under par. Was Scottie Scheffler clearing the field by a total of 8 strokes, on pace to a win at TPC Craig Ranch at the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. The big question that's been circling media circles has been, is it an overblown win or are big things to come? Now, I want to preface it with this. I've been saying this on the show for a long time. Actually, Johnny went out there when he used to go to SMU because it's in McKinney, Texas. It's down the road. And he used to tell me that when he'd go to this golf course, it was probably the easiest looking golf course he's ever seen on a PGA Tour scale. Really large greens, wide open fairways, not very penalizing. It's a very easy golf course, particularly when the weather is not bad. Now, the weather wasn't bad at all this week. It was actually very mild. In years past, there's been a ton of rain at this point in the year because it's like mid-spring. A lot of those April showers, spring, May flowers. A lot of that, though, pushes into May. Particularly in this part of the country. It was beautiful for 4 straight days, and it was tremendous scoring conditions for the rest of the field. Most guys shot in the high 15 under par. Erik van Rooyen finished second, 8 strokes behind at 23 under. Overall, a really good week for everybody. But Scottie Scheffler just absolutely dominated the field. He had multiple rounds in the low 60s. He had a 61. He had a 62 at some point. So this golf course is not challenging at all. It ranks as one of the top 5 easiest golf courses on tour. According to Data Golf, it has one of the easiest slope ratings amongst any PGA Tour spot that they play. I don't want to mark this up to being a similar golf course to like what we see on LIVGolf, but it kind of sort of was. It wasn't to a level of difficulty that you usually see at this point in the year, right in the heart of things when you go play at Sawgrass and at Bay Hill and name X golf course here, even Quail Hollow that we would traditionally be at this week. We'll be there next week. But these kind of golf courses, this was a layup course. And to no fault of Scottie's, it was a home field event. He won with his family all there. It was a very emotional time for the Scheffler family. But while people can say, hey, is this the start for Scottie to really jump off to a hot start and get things going? I don't buy it. I don't think this is going to be the year that's the winning moment that Scottie has. I think it's his first win in the month of May, maybe in his career, if I'm being quite honest. I know he's won a couple times in June because he won the Memorial last year. But I don't think this is going to propel him to be any better than he already is. He's already been a phenomenal golfer the entirety of the year. He hasn't finished worse than 25th at all this entire year. And he's going to continue to finish top 10. He finished 4th at the Masters, 2nd at the Texas Children's Open, and then 8th at the Heritage before winning this past week. This is going to continue. He's going to be a top 5 golfer in the world. It's definitive. But to say that this is going to be the jumping off board to another 5 straight win pace, I think is a far-fetched scenario.
Can you imagine being Erik van Rooyen this week? That was my entire thought process watching along on social media because I've been swamped this weekend, so I didn't get to really watch too much. But imagine shooting 23 under and you lose by 8 strokes.
Imagine having your first top 5 finish in, oh my God, since literally May of last year.
I'd be inconsolable.
Yeah, to shoot 23 under and lose the tournament is like one of those things that you would never imagine. But at the same time, what makes that even crazier is the fact that Scottie Scheffler was gained. I can't even tell you what the total number of strokes gained was. I think it was like 24 strokes. Like, that's one of the highest strokes gained totals ever. Maybe like top 5 ever. I've actually got to look this up now on Twitter. Let's see what my boy Justin Ray has to tell us. If anybody can give us the insight, it can absolutely be this. Yeah, Scottie Scheffler gained 18.21 strokes on the field this week with his ball striking off the tee and approach. It's the most in a measured 72-hole PGA Tour event for any player since 2007. Like, going into the week, he gained 24.76 strokes on the field. That'd be the most by any player in a PGA Tour sanctioned 72-hole event since Henrik Stenson at the 2016 Open Championship. Like, that's dumb. How good he played. And I remember that putting contest between Cantlay and DeChambeau at the B&W like 3 years ago. That was, I think, Cantlay gained like 18 strokes on the green alone. Granted, everything else was kind of like in the middle. It was just really a putting contest kind of week. But like, that is like this tweet shocks me. Jordan Spieth shot 62 today and is alone in 4th place. He's 13 shots behind Scheffler. Like, Scottie could have fallen asleep halfway through the event and still won. Just like on autopilot.
Yeah, it's insane.
I just don't think though that this can be a replicated thing. Like, he gained 5.78 strokes total. If you look at his recent performances, I mean, he traditionally averages, at least over the last few weeks, with the exception of last week, he's gained 3.5 strokes, 3.5 strokes. He had a couple of 2.5s at the Players in Bay Hill, 3.25 at the Genesis. The last time he gained 5 strokes in a PGA Tour event that wasn't the Hero World Challenge was actually last year's Masters, which is also like insane because it's the Masters. Prior to that, he hadn't gained 5 strokes on a field since, let's see, he gained 4.9 at Bay Hill last year. We have to go all the way back to just about 2022 when he last did it. His highest total was also at the Masters. Like, this is insane how he always plays so well at Augusta. That's like insane. Is his highest total at 4.9 strokes. He's never gained more than 5 in an event that wasn't the Hero World Challenge. So that right there just shows you it's a unbelievable day in all facets, but also on a very easy surface level. You just simply it's impossible for him to be able to replicate that on a grand scale. Speaking as what you said, and I feel really bad. Erik van Rooyen really kind of falls into a category of his own. He was asked after his round. He had qualified for the Truist Championship through the Aon Next 10 and the Swing 5, and he gave a very blunt comment about qualifying for the event. He said, quote, "I hate it." And I will play, we could play the commentary probably in post-editing, but he made the comment clear that the best fields on tour are the ones that have the most players in it, and he hates the idea that he needs to qualify for an event like this. And he says the PGA coming up, it's probably the best field in golf because it is 156 of the best players in the world. And while I don't necessarily disagree with him, I do think that, and we've said this on this show multiple times, about the problems that the PGA Tour has when it comes to making it a boys club, limiting membership to 100 tour cards now at the end of this year, having events that are only top 72, and limiting the rest of the players from the opportunities. Now, granted, the Truist this week, there is an alternate event. There's going to be the Myrtle Beach Classic, which they'll have the opportunity to be able to go for a alternate site event if you're not in the top 72. But we don't have enough of that for the 8 signature events on tour. We're not going to have it for the Week of the Travelers. We didn't have it for the Week of the Century. We didn't have it for the Genesis or for Pebble Beach or Riviera. So why are we like this is still an issue that we have not solved on the PGA Tour? And I commiserate with Erik van Rooyen. He's like, I'm very proud of myself for being able to qualify for this event, but I shouldn't have to qualify for it because I shouldn't have to be the 140th guy in the field. I should just have the ability to just play.
Yeah, I mean, my boy was cooking in them quotes.
He was, honestly, and
He
like
was out here stirring the pot.
I felt the emotion in his presser too. Like he's very much against what the current state of the PGA Tour is, and we can debate and talk more on what's right or what's wrong. And I know we mentioned it a lot over the last 6 months on this show, back when Ben was here, and even now. Like, it is unfair for the 150th guy on the PGA Tour to not get a shot week in and week out, and they have to deal with limited time membership, and now they'd rather go play KFT events than go play a PGA Tour event if they can even qualify for it, because they have a better shot getting full-time memberships there and qualifying for the PGA Tour than to actually play on tour and play against the best. But thankfully, this week we do have the opportunity to play in an alternate field event that's going to give another winner the opportunity to gain full-time membership on tour, get a 2-year exemption, go to the Masters, go to all the majors, qualify potentially for these signature events as well. The signature event is great for golf. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that we are still limiting only creates more problems than good, in my opinion, for the long-term future of the sport.
Yeah.
Truthfully. But at least we'll see Eric Van Rooyen this weekend, and maybe we can get a more raw, emotional comment from him.
Doesn't Eric Van Rooyen sound like a type of person that would have like soccer fans chanting his name?
Even Kay says yes, and she doesn't watch soccer at all.
That's because Kay's my dog.
Okay, dance with your dogs in the nighttime.
But it literally sounds like Eric Van Rooyen. Sounds like a soccer chant name.
I heard a really good one the other day. I follow Patty Pimblett on Instagram, and he's a Liverpool fan.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Diogo Jota has a great, what's it to the beat to? Oh my god. I'm drawing a blank on the song. Damn it. Not Brown Eyed Girl. It's something like that. But I love the soccer chants. We need to bring more soccer chants into the world of sports in America.
100%. Like, I can't stand them, and if you don't know me, I'm brand new to the Premier League, up the Albion. I hate Nottingham Forest because they knocked us out of the FA Cup.
Tough.
But they had a phenomenal chant earlier this year, where they remixed Zombie to Arnie Slot's name, and they were like, Arnie. That was fantastic.
It's great because now that the Ryder Cup is coming to America, we get to have these chants come to the forefront in American golf. I always love the ones where it's the people who are fighting on different sides of like the green. It's like one group is like, I'm on the left side, we're on the left side of the green. And that's the other side goes, we're on the right side. It's very funny, and I love that stuff. So we're gonna have a good time at the Ryder Cup. Hopefully, I'll be able to go. Okay, your dad's gonna be able to get me tickets, right? Hopefully, company box. I hope your dad knows if I end up getting invited to the Ryder Cup, I'm probably gonna be like painting my chest red, white, and blue, and I'll be with like all him and his business friends and everybody, and making a fool of myself. We're gonna take a short break.
I just want to give you an update since there's a little rivalry night in the NBA going on. The Knicks have clawed all the way back. 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's 97-93 Knicks over the Celtics right now.
Baby, let's go.
Matter. It really doesn't
Shut
matter.
up, Ethan.
It doesn't matter.
Ethan's muted. I just went totally reality on this boy. Screw you. We're taking a short break. On the other side, Ethan will get unmuted and we'll talk our shout outs of the week and give you a full breakdown on what to expect from us and from the Truist this week from Philadelphia. For KB, that's the muted Ethan. I'm Steve McAvoy. We'll be right back, folks, right here from the Under.
Get in the Hole is brought to you by PHI Apparel Company, our incredible merch partners. PHI Apparel Co. provides unique designs and high-quality clothing from t-shirts to hoodies for every golfer around. With their original designs for all, there's no doubt you'll stand out on the course, the driving range, or at the 19th hole. Go to phiapparel.co and use code UNDERGROUND at checkout for 10% off any order. That's code UNDERGROUND at phiapparel.co and grab exclusive Get in the Hole podcast merch and support your favorite golfers.
I'm getting some really unfortunate word that apparently Liverpool might be moving on from Mr. Diogo Jota, and they might be trying to offer a $34 million move to get Kingsley Coman.
Well, it was announced this morning that Trent Alexander-Arnold is leaving the club after the year as well.
Yeah, apparently they want him for the Club World Cup in this month, and apparently Liverpool's like, we're not going to just give him to you. Or he's going to end the year with the club, and he's going to like earn his trophy and enjoy it. Yeah. And I think it's badass that apparently Trent, according to like his agent or somebody, was like, yeah, I appreciate Real Madrid. I appreciate them giving me the opportunity to play for their club, but I'm not leaving the club that quick. And I'm like, you know what? Good.
Yeah,
that man is great.
There's Club World Cup games in Philly this summer that I'm trying to like just be around for because it's all at the link.
Do we need to go?
I'm trying my best because the teams that are going to be here are insane. Let me find the table. I know Chelsea's going to be here, so Harrison's like over the moon, especially since he's moving back to the dirty Jers.
Screw them. Screw Chelsea. I hate Chelsea.
But I think like Man City is going to be here.
Okay.
Like a whole bunch of like crazy shit. I think Inter is going to be here.
Oh, my boy Mandzukic. Love that man's.
It's wild. I think it's in like July.
Here we go. May have to swing that.
Here we go. Who is going to be here? It's that's not the right one. Oh, here we go. Philly. Yeah, Man City, Juventus, Chelsea, Real Madrid.
Oh.
FC Salzburg is going to be here, and then the quarterfinals are here on the 4th of July.
Oh, unfortunately, I'll be out of town, but that'll be absolutely electric.
But everything else is in June.
Well, we'll definitely try and find our way to be able to go. But let's get back into all the good stuff as we relay Truist Championship Week. Where we start off with our shout out to the week, presented by our friends over at Acorn Hills, changing clothing through conservation. Let me tell you guys, I understand that it's a little bit too late now, but while you might be going to the Truist this weekend and you'll be wearing your Sunday best, or in my case, my Sunday red, I'll tell you right now that your outfit will not be complete without Acorn Hills. Anything from their awesome base layers to outerwear, polos, ball markers, and beyond. You can get some awesome Acorn Hills merch for your next golf outing, or, of course, for the long season ahead at acornhillsco.com using code GITH15. That's code GETINTHEHOLE15 for 15% off your next order at acornhills.co. Every dollar given will the National Forest Foundation will plant a seedling to promote afforestation across our great land. So get in on the action with Acorn Hills. Once again, GITH15, 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com, and look your best from the ground up. We start off our first shout out this week, and it's a big one. Shout out to the Grass League. What an opening week. I was glued to my TV for 3 days straight. Friday, Saturday, Sunday action. Had qualifying for who was going to get drafted. They had draft night Friday night. They had the Grass League Open Saturday and Sunday. And week 1, or the first tournament of the year, goes to who else but the New York Bluebirds, baby. Big dub for the first win of the year. Shout out to the team for a huge opening round. Actually might be getting their captain on getting the hole very, very soon. Hopefully next week. Shout out to Captain Abe Candelaria. So a big win in week 1 for the Grass League. Just as a league in general, I was telling you this, KB, before the show. This is going to be our PLL. Like, you had a great opportunity with OTB to get in the weeds on the PLL and get in, not get in bed. I think it's the wrong word to use, but get in the boardroom with the Rabels and the big wigs within the PLL. I think the Grass League is going to be that for this show. It's going to be the opportunity to be able to get to talk to some really interesting people, meet with creators, understand what it's like. And I get it. It's on the other side of the country. But this July and August, they're doing a traveling tour. They might be coming to New York. They want to go to every spot for every single club. The opportunity to possibly play a par 3 golf course somewhere on Long Island or somewhere in upstate New York, even New Jersey, a huge opportunity to be able to exploit that from a local perspective. I know there isn't a Philadelphia team, but get on the ground, not yet. Get in on the ground level with the Grass League and only its second season. And they've already done such a great job, dude. Like, Branded Bills is a sponsor now, which, by the way, I need those hats ASAP. Unreal has gotten in to be the official sponsorship brand. They're streaming on Peacock. Like, they already have the pieces in place. And on top of that, they got Archie Bradley in a grass suit, which, by the way, might have been
Phil's legend.
Coolest thing ever. Like, absolutely sick. Paige Baranek doing on-course interviews. They had Archie Bradley emceeing the event. Apparently a sick concert with Bryce Vine. Like, all that stuff is just the start of what's going to end up being the new norm in golf. I know the TGL was huge, but this, to be able to bring the most competitive holes in golf, the par 3, make it high stakes, make it like LIVGolf, where it's at like loud musical atmosphere, get creators involved. That's what you need in a league to really make noise and get more eyes on the sport. And Grass League's doing that. So shout out to them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that they are they have a lot of similarities to the PLL. Obviously, they're starting off with teams and locations, and not necessarily that they're playing in those locations right away, which is similar to the PLL.
Yeah.
But like, you have teams, you can have a fandom. You can be a fan of a golfer and just root for the golfer, which is very similar to the early stages of the PLL. And I don't know, I just like their approach. And I think the big thing where this wasn't on our radar last year, and this is no slight to Bleacher Report, but their broadcast was on Bleacher Report. That's not necessarily like an in-your-face commodity in terms of like broadcast television, unless you're like in the weeds and you're on the Bleacher Report app and like you see stuff like that. Like, there are people that are that way, but the casual fan who may not have the Bleacher Report app, who may not follow Bleacher Report for all of their news, isn't going to see this. Now that it's on Peacock, it takes it to a professionalism level where you're leaving the internet space not behind, but you're leaving that stratosphere, and you're bringing yourself into a more professional demeanor. And being on a streaming platform is huge, because then you're getting the NBC audience. I'm sure, you know, as the year goes on, like, you'll see those little lower third advertisements on NBC and stuff throughout the summer and everything like that. And I mean, outside of Philadelphia not having a team, which we need to fix that as soon as possible. It's pretty diverse with like where the teams are. Like, you have the Midwest, which the PLL does not have yet. And DJ will bang the table until he's red in the face that the PLL needs to be in the Midwest. You have 2 teams in the Midwest with Michigan and Minnesota. You have a team in Canada. You have 3 teams in California. You have a team in Scottsdale. You have a team in Phoenix. You have a team in Dallas. You have a team in Florida, and you have a team in New York. Like, outside of Philly and Chicago.
Yeah.
But again, you have the Midwest covered for right now with Michigan, with Minnesota. Like Philly and Chicago are really your only massive markets that I think they're missing.
And Boston
in the United States and Boston.
Yeah. And honestly, like,
but you know what? Fuck Boston.
But like, even take that out, right? Like, just like looking at scope, the fact that they already have 11 people or 11 ownership groups that now, granted, like the ownership group cost is a lot less than TGL, right? Because TGL, you're looking at like massive overhead costs and manufacturing, operating, the building of a stadium, and all this stuff. I think we heard the stories of $77 million currently being put up for a Dallas team, right? And those ownership groups are huge. Like Arthur Blank is one of the richest people on earth, right? The Cronkites might want to get involved, or the Cronkies might want to get involved. That's a huge financial undertaking. Steve Cohen's the most wealthy owner in baseball. Like Good owned a team for the Grass League. Doesn't mean it doesn't cost a lot of money to operate it, but when you also have the caveat that you have 3 of your guys playing on the Grass League and being owners of the group, and Dave Roberts is an owner, and Wyndham Clark and Municipal, and all these different groups, like the costs are certainly less, but to have 11 big time sponsors who want to get involved in this, it should not be very hard for a Philadelphia-based group or individual who wants to own a team. Like, think about it, right?
Rob McElhenney. Rob McElhenney.
Like, I was talking about it just the other day, right? And granted, he's not really he's partially a Philadelphia guy, right? He played for them for a little bit, but like, take someone like Jason Worth, right? Who largely a Nationals player, but wherever you see him, I see him more as a National because he used to absolutely demolish the Mets. But like, Jason Worth is a part owner of a horse, right? Who was in the Derby. And he's been an owner of horses that have been Triple Crown racing horses for years. What's going to stop him from, or him, or another big name like take like a Ryan Howard or a hometown boy?
I could see Ryan Howard getting in on. That's a good call by you, honestly.
Or like even somebody who I know for a fact is a big time golfer, Pat Burrell, big time name in Philadelphia. Who's going to say that a former pro athlete? Maybe even Jason Kelsey, right? Jason Kelsey, big, put on Reddit literally yesterday, I need help with my golf swing. What's going to stop Jason Kelsey now in his post-NFL career from getting so immersed in golf that he's going to put $280,000, $300,000 of his millions of dollars that he's made, plus what he's making now with his podcast and his brand and everything else, into a Philadelphia-based golf Grass League team? Or what's going to stop someone in the Chicago area, like a Derek Rose, might want to get involved in something like that? Like, there's so many different options, and it's so affordable for a lot of these big time names who have been able to grow brands past their professional careers. And again, like baseball, the pipeline into golf is a very common thing. So I think that it's certainly possible for expansion. It's only going to get bigger. There's people who are going to want to get involved. And then even now between content creators and actual pro golfers and even amateur golfers who are just really good at golf, like Marty Fish is in the field at the Grass League. The guy was a former tennis champion turned golfer who's a scratch pro. Like, the opportunity to get people involved in this game is just so much greater because of the opportunity, and it's only par 3 golf. You only got to hit it 170 yards.
I'm going to raise you an ownership group here. Now, I don't know if he would because of his connections to a certain somebody, but take, let's say, Ryan Howard, let's say Jason Kelsey, and let's say Mike Trout. Hello, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I just don't know the implications because obviously Trout is an investor or something. I forget the title with Tiger's TGL team. So I don't know.
I don't think that would be a huge because it'd be different if it was like a live kind of thing. This is so separate because it is, and again, like part of the reason, right, that we haven't gotten a lot of coverage on Grass League probably is due to the idea that it's not a competitor of the PGA Tour and it's not operated by the PGA Tour. It's more of a local thing that's kind of like become a cult classic and a following in that sense. So the coverage isn't as big, but like that's not going to stop Mike Trout from being able to do this. I'm sure they would love to have that. People are probably going to end up jumping in on this. And again, like Michael Block is involved in in this. Like I said, good golf. There's a ton of different people, pro golfers, amateur
Yeah, I guess
golfers.
Wyndham Clark's an owner, so
Yeah, exactly. So like, so that shouldn't deter Mike Trout from doing it. And you know what? It makes sense, right? To get someone like Trout involved. I think there's a very much an instance where we can see more teams popping up. Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia. If you want to get another major city, you can probably go down to like Miami, because they have Tampa Bay right now. There could be a team in Atlanta, like we have the Drive and TGL. So it also isn't stopping them from going to cities that already have major sports franchises, right? Like we have teams in Dallas, LA, Michigan, based out of Detroit. Scottsdale, of course, is the local because that's where the team is, where the course is. But like, they can even expand to like middle range cities. Seattle could be a really cool spot to go to. A really interesting part of the country out by Oregon, Bandon Dunes, right? Like, there's a lot of golf cities that we don't really think about. Like, even like we said, like in Michigan, Wisconsin is one of the biggest golf cities in the world. You don't think about it, but when you go to Sheboygan and you can go play Whistling Straits, that's a main top tier golf course, and there are more to go along with it. So the floor is the ceiling with Grass League. There's so much to do with this, and everyone loves par 3 golf. I mean, I got my start in golf playing par 3s, so this is really something that I think could stand out and be great. Anyways, we got to move on with more of our shouts. I want to give a shout out to Pilots. This is a crazy one that I saw on social, and is our social media clip of the day. Well, you can check out the full clip in the link in our description, in our bio. A crash landing at Riviera Country Club left a 2-seater biplane with actually no damage. Basically crash landed, quote unquote, due to a safety hazard, and landed on the fairway at Riviera Country Club. Someone got a video of it. Kind of amazing that A, no one got hurt, and B, the airplane suffered almost no damage at all. So shout out to the pilot for one of the
that's wild,
oddest clips of the week. And again, you can check that out in our description. I have a problem with this, but I need to give him a shout out because he does deserve it. Michael Block is in the PGA Championship field once again for like the 3rd year. He's also in the Grass League. He finished quite well in his first go around in qualifying. Shout out to Michael Block for doing all this great stuff. We gotta stop talking about this guy. I get it.
Chill on the block party.
I get it. It's great that everyone loves the clip of him and Rory, and he was shocked. It's his 3rd fucking time doing this, guys. He's used to it. He's already a celebrity. Why are we treating it like it's this huge thing that Michael Block's a really good PGA professional golfer, and he qualifies the last 3 years for the PGA Championship, and we treat him like it's like Rory winning the Masters.
Because
nothing to Block.
Because he's older than most of the field, and he makes golf relatable.
Is it really that relatable though, considering the guy's a scratch golfer and I'm a 13 handicap? Like,
yeah, but from a visual appearance, not everyone looks like Rory. Not everyone looks like Colin. Not everyone looks like Xander. Michael Block looks like he just got done working a shift at your mechanic shop and just goes out and fucking dazzles on the golf course.
I mean, look, not for nothing. Like, Joel Damon looks like Ethan, and Harry Higgs looks like you and I. Like Corey Connors looks like you and me. Like very common men can play golf at a high level. I don't think it's like yeah, sure, there are guys with like insane physiques, but like golf isn't really the sport that I think the peak is like you're a Adonis. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe
Stop
I'm
being
putting
a curmudgeon, Steve.
Am I putting on the angry old man hat? I'm sorry.
I shouldn't be doing. You're that. Like Homer's father in The Simpsons.
Can I be like John Boy instead? Oh my God. 2 more shout outs. I want to give a shout out to both Bryson DeChambeau and John Rahm. So Bryson earned his 3rd win on the LIV circuit this week in South Korea. He led the field by 2 strokes, including back-to-back 66s to edge out teammate Charles Howell. But Jon Rahm actually might be the story of the week. Data Golf updated their top 5 golfers in the world actively, and Jon Rahm is back into the top 5. The top 5 right now in order: Scottie, Rory, Bryson, Rahm, and then Colin Morikawa per Data Golf. But Jon Rahm, listen to this, finished T7 in South Korea. He's a perfect 20 for 20, finishing top 10 in every live event he's ever played in. Now, is that impressive or no?
Quantify impressive when it comes to,
I mean, playing top level golf and finishing top 10 every single week, I think is even in a 50-man field. I still think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's so
20 starts.
difficult with live because not that I'm like
this is like the meme of the dadders, like, it's the dollar store. How good can it actually be? It's
and it's not that I'm like anti-live, like good for those dudes going and getting their bag and everything, but like it's difficult to quantify what quote unquote accomplishments are when the league is so new.
And when it's as small as it is, and the field is only 50 deep roughly, and half that field is just, again, curmudgeon old men. Like, I still think it's impressive enough to me to be able to say, you know what, like, Jon Rahm is still a very good golfer, and he still has a lot of skill. And not for nothing, in his last 2 major championships, he has played some rather inspiring golf. He finished 15th, 14th at the Masters. He finished 7th at the Open. Prior to that, finished. Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Here we go. Finished 14th at the Masters, 7th at the Open. He had a tough run of things early on in the year at the Masters and the PGA, but in his last 5 majors, he has 3 top 15s, 2 top 10s. Like, still pretty impressive. If you expand that to the last 6 majors, it's 4 top 15s and 3 top 10s. So I think when you quantify it that way, he's still a great golfer. Is he playing in top flight fields? No, but whenever you can go 20 straight in something, that's pretty damn impressive to me. So I'll give him his flowers on that one. Birthday shout outs of the week. Not a lot of big time names on the birthday list. However, I do want to give a shout out. This seems like a fun one to talk about. 2001 U.S. Amateur winner Benjamin Gordon, aka Bubba Dickerson. He was born tomorrow, actually. In 1981, he turns 44 years old. He's a native of Jacksonville, Florida. He turned pro back in 2002. He currently plays on the nationwide tour. Attended the University of Florida, won the U.S. Amateur Tournament. He made 2 majors in his career, only has 2 pro wins. However, has garnered the distinct honors of not only winning the U.S. Amateur, but playing in 7 different professional tours, from the PGA Tour to the Challenger Tour, the Hooters Tour, the Nationwide Tour, and then also playing in the PGA Tour. So shout out to Bubba Dickerson on your 44th birthday. Best of wishes to you.
The Hooters Tour?
The Hooters Tour.
The Hooters Tour.
It's John Daly's favorite tour.
I mean, of course.
I wonder if the Hooters Tour even still exists. It's now called the
NGA Pro Golf Tour.
Yeah, the NGA Pro Golf Tour was titled the Hooters Tour. Yeah,
that's
tough.
wild.
That's crazy, man. Some big time names played on that tour. David Skins, Michael Thompson, Zach Johnson. Big ZJ. Love to see that. All right, let's get into our full-on preview of the Truist Championship. And the great part is about finally being a member of the True Golf media is that we get all of the insights through PGA Tour media, which is absolutely sick. I feel like a real pro getting to be able to see all of these different fact sheets and numbers and all this good stuff going in. So 72 player field this week. There is an alternate list. We might be seeing a few alternates come into play. Some sponsorship additions to the field. Keith Mitchell, Ricky Fowler, Gary Woodland, and Jordan Spieth will join the field this week. Of course, Eric Van Rooyen, a part of the Aon Swing 5, gets access into the event, including Garrick Higo, the winner in Punta Cana a couple weeks ago, Sam Stevens, Michael Thorbjornsen, and Rasmus Højgaard. Oddly enough, actually, Højgaard got into the field, basically beating out his brother, who were both vying for position at the CJ Cup, with Rasmus finishing higher and getting the nod. I believe, if I'm not wrong, the Knicks just won. Is the breaking news here that the Knicks just won the game?
The Knicks did just win the game, 108-105.
Nikes!
Bing bong! Bing bong, Ethan!
Doesn't
Nova
matter,
Nick.
dude. It really doesn't matter.
Hey, Ethan.
There's
fuck
no team that
you.
can beat the Celtics in 7 games. There's no
Tony
team,
Reale, once again, goodbye. You're muted.
I'm going to be
no
the
team
Jerry
in the NBA
O'Connell.
that can. No team in the NBA.
No, stop it. I'm cutting
In
you
a
out.
7-game
Stop it. Cut it out.
There's
Cut it out. Cut it out. I'm kicking you out.
I'm going to
You're
be
gone.
the Jerry O'Connell to Ethan's Hank on Part of My Take, where Ethan's obviously rooting for the Celtics, and I just have an affinity for the Nova Knicks because Nova fan here. So I'd much rather them do their thing. Bing bong, Ethan. Bing
Here,
bong.
You know what? Here, if I'm going to name you a movie, Ethan. I want you to tell me if you happen to know what movie I'm referring to based on the top five people in this cast. All right? Dan Aykroyd, Damon Wayans, Christopher McDonald, Daniel Stern, and Gail O'Grady.
Ooh. Daniel.
It's a
What?
movie.
David
movie.
Stern. Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern, yes. Like the guy who was the
And Chris McDonald, like the dude
Like Shooter
from
McGavin.
The show.
like Shooter McGavin.
Ooh. I honestly have no clue.
Have you ever seen the
But-
movie Celtic Pride?
No.
Oh, you're a fake Celtics fan. Get the fuck out of here, kid. Bing bong. Let's go, Knicks. You're done. You're done in my book. You're done. Anywho, holy shnikes. Let's go fucking Knicks.
Oh wait. I think I have seen that. Dan Aykroyd.
The Aon Next 10 includes Andrew Novak, who won at the Zurich a couple weeks ago, Matt McNeely, JJ Spawn, Justin Rose, Daniel Berger, Michael Kim, Nick Taylor, Ben Griffin also won with Novak, Lucas Glover, and the chef, Dr. Chapinski, Min Woo Lee, getting into the field, the full 72-man field at the Truist Championship. It's going to be an absolute brute this week at the Philadelphia Cricket Club, the Wissahickon course, a A.W. Tillinghast golf course. And, you know, the beauty of getting to do a preview for a course that we don't see ever, actually. We haven't had an event played in Philadelphia since the 2018 BMW. That was back when Keegan Bradley won out here. The fact that we have never had a golf course like the Wissahickon course played on the PGA Tour since like 1910. And even then, like, this course didn't exist. This was a Tillinghast design from back in the late 20s. A.W. Tillinghast, I came to find out. Now, he designed a lot of great courses, most notably Bethpage Black. Was actually a member of this golf course way back in the day. So this is truly one of his architectural monuments when you look at the history of A.W. Tillinghast. Par 70, a 35 in, 35 out, 7,100 yards on this beautiful bent grass fescue rough golf course. A little bit of notes on the actual course, and I want to give a A special shout out to Joey Chitwood and the folks at the Truist. They truly have made a golf course that is going to be a brute of a challenge for a lot of these players. They've recontoured a lot of the holes. If you listen to Joey's interview from last week or even previously, if you have not, go check those out on all of our platforms. But Joey Chitwood gave a great insight as the executive director of this tournament to talk about what they did to make this golf course work. The first hole that's going to be played on this course is going to be the members' number 8 hole. And then it'll proceed in order with numbers 9 through 7 as tournaments number 2 through 18. So to kind of give you an idea on what that actually looks like for those of you who are familiar with the actual golf course. The way the course is set up, I need to pull up the list here. So the way the golf course is organized is that it's the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th holes. That's your front 9. And then the back 9 is 17, 18, and then 1, 2, 3, 7, 5, 6, 4. So it's moved around a little bit. It also makes for a really interesting final stretch on this golf course. The final 4 holes are really, actually the final 5 holes, like I said, are the 3, 7, 5, 6, and 4th holes for the members. The 14th hole, which we're probably going to spend a lot of time at, a short par 3, only 122 yards. The guys are going to be hitting lob wedges into this green. It's going to be absolutely electric. Followed by a 553-yard long up the hill par 5 on 7, a long par 3, 215 yards, and as Joey Chitwood described it, a hold on to your horses for dear life on the final 2 holes, 498 and 517-yard par 4s, long par 4s to finish the round. Lots of bogeys to come in this back 9 if you're not able to make great contact off the tee and on approach. It's a very long golf course for only being 7,100 yards. Of course, that comes with being a par 70 course. So they're not making they're not making it easy for any of these guys. An incredibly high slope rating. According to the numbers, it's actually one of the most challenging courses that the players will play throughout the entirety of the year. In doing some research on more of this golf course, actually the most bunkers that's going to be played at a PGA Tour event this year. 118 bunkers marks the most, only ahead of Pebble Beach at 116. The average size of the greens kind of sort of in the middle of the road, but the yardages, while short, is still going to be a big time challenge. Playing on again these bank grass greens and fairways. It's certainly going to be a challenge, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity to see some really great golf for a part of the country that we don't usually go to on tour, A, and B, a course that none of these guys really know. It's certainly going to be interesting to see how things go, but weather looks pretty good. Might rain a little bit early Thursday. We're currently going through a storm up here in the Northeast. I know in New York, we're getting like 27 hours worth of rain over a 3-day period, and it's already been going for most of today. We'll probably get them tomorrow as well. I don't know what the deal is out in Philadelphia with you, KB, but yeah, it's been a lot of rain.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Thursday, it's not supposed to rain until about 6 p.m.
Perfect.
And it's only about a 30% chance.
Oh, thank God.
The entirety there. And then we go to Friday. It's 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then a little from 6 to 7 a.m. And that is also a 30% chance. Nothing on Saturday and nothing on Sunday.
So you know what? Looking like some pretty good conditions. The morning tee times will probably be a little bit more favorable for a lot of the field, which I think will be really interesting to see how things play out over time, because with that wet conditions, the ball will set up a little bit more. It might not travel as far, but it's only going to make driving accuracy and driving distance that much more crucial in the grand scheme of the overall event. So I think a really interesting opportunity to see how guys can thrive. I want to do a quick whole breakdown, being that we've never seen this golf course, and I want to pull up.
Dare I say, Steve, we call this get in the hole?
I dare think we do. So this is what happened.
I thought it was gonna show everything
Oh no,
because I have a custom layout that makes our thing smaller, but there's no media layout there.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, no. So this is the 14th hole at the Hicken course. This is the short par 3, only 122 yards. I think this is a really fascinating look at what to expect from the course because, and this is for a multitude of reasons. What makes this event really fascinating is the fact that we are going to be able to see. You'll see the tee box is like right by these dunes over here. A sloping downward from the back, so you're going to see a lot of action sloping in from that back right side. Pin locations are going to be low for the first couple of days. You might see on day 3, it's going to be towards that back right, which is going to allow for a lot of opportunities at a birdie. I believe the final day might be up on that on the upslope on the far left side, which is going to be treacherous for guys because you're going to find that really tall fescue, that one side bunker. It'll be a challenge for a lot of guys to find the green and be able to thrive in the conditions late in this tournament. So this is going to be a really fascinating hole. We're going to be parked out watching a lot of these holes, watching how a lot of these guys play. Probably do some reporting on it. Definitely interested to ask some of these players at the tournament how they feel the course layout plays to some advantages and where it challenges them, because this is a golf course that as somebody who is not a pro golfer, I'd be scared as a pro to play this course. It's
you asking the wrong one here.
I mean, hey, that's that's show business, as they say, right, kids? Oh my God!
Sure.
So that is our getting the whole breakdown. Again, that's just about everything on the Truist. We're gonna have a lot more to be able to offer you throughout the week. A lot of great segments coming from on and off the golf course. We'll hopefully be able to give you a full-on breakdown. Definitely want to check out how the grass is going to be. You might be able to go and see the greens on Wednesday as they're off the greens and be able to see the golf course, see how the layout is. So hopefully we'll be able to get you guys more on that as well. But with that being said, let's jump into our picks this week and let's see who we think is going to be able to claim victory and play their best at the Truist Championship, sponsored by Kenwood Beer and our beer money picks of the week. You know, it's a great time to be getting into the golf scene. And I know that we're going to be sipping a beer, probably late, hanging out on course, checking things out. And what's only going to make golf better? This and a Kenwood Beer, right? Go online to kenwoodbeer.com, choose the Kenny Tracker to find out where you can get your hands on some ice cold, refreshing, and awesome Kenwood Beer to enjoy the Truist Championship this week in Philadelphia. Whether you're a local to Philly or you're from the tri-state area of New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, anywhere, you can get your hands on some ice cold, refreshing Kenwood beers using that Kenny Tracker. And of course, if you are 21 years old, please drink responsibly. And if you're gambling with us, please gamble responsibly as well. I am on a heater right now because I made $1,600 betting on the ponies on Saturday, totally fading Jason Worth's flying mohawk, by the way. So I'm confident. I'm very confident. Ethan, I don't know if you saw, so you know that I'm an avid bettor of the world of horse racing. For all of you who might want proof of how good I am at gambling on horses, I did that on Saturday night.
I'm going to block that out for your tax purposes.
$1 to
Yes, $1 to win $1,600. Don't worry, the taxes are going to get collected. They know this stuff. The IRS is going to be on my ass like white on rice. I just know it's going to happen. So made some bad.
Did you do that?
I want to give a shout out to Mike Somich at Samobomb18 on Twitter. Listened to him for the last 3 years on one of my favorite betting programs. No free ads. You better you bet with who else but Nick Costos. Love Nick Costos. If there's one guy who I would love to get a beer with, it would be Nick Costos. So Nick, if you're watching, let's make it happen. So yeah, Mike Somich gave me this this play. It's the second time in like 3 years that he's hit the superfecta, which is like absolutely insane because it so rarely ever happens, and just insane luck to be able to cash in on a sick bet. But hopefully that means that we'll be able to match up well here. KB, we start with you. Top 20 at the Truist at the Wissahickon course. Who you got?
I just also wanted to mention to you, Steve, since I know
Please.
the last time you were here, you forgot to make a pit stop. 1.2 miles away from our hotel, there's a place that has Kenwood beer available.
It sounds to me like after the first round on Thursday, we're going to stop at the Packy. We're going to pick up some Kenny's. I'm going to sit down, put my feet up, watch the highlights from Thursday night. And it's literally going to be a post from the Get in the Hole Twitter. And it's going to say, this and a beer.
This and a Kenny.
This and a Kenny. Like it's... God, take me to God's country, baby.
It's going to be the Kenwood Beer hotel room.
Oh, my God. Wow, dude. And again, if any pro golfers or anybody in the media space wants to come to our hotel room and do an interview, Ethan will be in the cuck chair. Bleep that out. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's funny. Top 20, you say?
No. Top 70. Top 20.
You know, part of me is doing this because he's giving back to the community. And part of me feels like I'm really going to regret it as well because it's not in Texas. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt in the Philadelphia bump plus 100 Jordan Spieth.
You know, it's actually really interesting. I like Jordan Spieth a lot. He's starting to come around. He's starting to hit not a stride, I'm not going to say, but this past week has been it looks like a different Jordan. Not to mention he has 4 straight top 20s in the space right now. Most recently he's finished 12th at the Valero, 14th at the Masters, 18th at the Heritage, and then 4th at the CJ Cup. He didn't have a great players, but even prior to that, he finished top 10 at the Cognizant, finished top 5 at the Waste Management. I like Jordan Spieth a lot. I'm also going to play him for a top 20 selection. I think Jordan Spieth, given the right conditions and the possibility of his accuracy, now that he's gotten much more accurate, his ability around the green has been really good. His distance has been above par. His putting has been pretty solid. There's a good chance that Jordan Spieth could actually win this event. He had some great approach numbers. He gained about 1.6 strokes on approach. He gained plenty of strokes on distance. So I think Jordan Spieth is a really good play here for a top 20. I think he has a chance to win too if you give him the right conditions. This could be the week, very similar to when we called out Ricky Fowler. Remember earlier in the show. We're kind of on the same trajectory with Jordan Spieth for a one-off win at a vital event, coming off of an event where he wasn't going to win because he finished like 10 strokes behind Scottie. But this is a really good showing week at the CJ Cup, even though it was an easy golf course. The proof's in the pudding. I'll go with Jordan Spieth top 20, top 10.
I'll stay on brand plus 275 Corey Connors.
How is it possible that you are just going to pick all of your guys the entirety of the way through? It almost seems like the biggest layup story of the year.
It's a home game for me.
The home game. I wonder if the Ontario boys are going to be at the Truist. Let's see. Top 10 for myself. Oof. Signature event vibe. Lots of really good stuff. Do I have my my course history notes here? Let's see. Oh, actually, we don't have any course history. It's the fucking Truist. I'm so dumb. Holy crap! I've been hyping this event up for weeks to be like, oh yeah, no one's ever fucking played here. Christ. All right. So driving accuracy is going to be really important. Your approach game is going to be possibly even more vital. I am going to go plus 210. Thomas Fleetwood.
I have him plus 250 on DraftKings.
Honestly, you're interesting because I'm also on there and I have him 210 here. Oh, guess it's the Mad Hatter Sportsbook. I guess. Top 5.
Oh,
Who do you like?
your plus 210 is with
ties.
Ties.
That's where I usually will place my plays. But all right, there you go.
Well, I always have to tab over to top finish for top 20, so that's why I was looking at those lines.
Gotcha.
Because
So,
it doesn't have it for the top 20. So if you want my pick again with Corey Connors, it's plus 230, including ties.
there you go. We'll take it. Top 5. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with I got 2 guys that I like top 5. Xander at plus 300 and Ludwig at plus 300.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Xander and Ludwig at plus 300.
Ooh, okay. My top 5 this week. Let's see.
And if you want to parlay that, it's a plus 1,500 ticket.
That's a fatty. I love that. My top 5 this week, I'm going to ride with who has the better approach numbers so far this year? His accuracy has been insane. So has his approach. Let's say. Yeah. This should be a layup. I'm gonna go Colin Morikawa for a top 5. I think this is an event that he can very much win. His accuracy off the tee has been phenomenal. As has his approach play. It's literally been the bread and butter of his game the entirety of the year. I think this is a good spot for Colin to get a elusive win and get back into that win column. This is for a shorter course, that's a very challenging situation. The approach play is going to be huge here. Your gimme pick.
I have a gimme pick, and then I have a best bet that I'll include in this segment.
Okay.
Victor Hovland top 20 at plus 110 is my gimme pick. And then my best bet, because it's a home game, it's our first credentialed event, and the odds are pretty sweet. Hole in one, yes, plus 110.
I love it. And also on that 122-yard par 3, I think we could certainly see some fireworks. You said Javi top 10 or top 20?
Top 20 at plus 110.
Right. Perfect. I will also give you a gimme as well as a best bet, because why the fuck not? I'm going to take Andrew Novak for a top 20 finish. You can get Novak on the board at you can definitely get him at a good number. Let's see where he is on here. Plus 150 for a top 20. He's the only player in the field, and really actually the only player on tour this season with 4 top 3s. And 3 of them came in the last 5 weeks. Valero, Zurich, where he won the RBC Heritage when he lost in the playoffs to JT, and 3rd at the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines. So I love Andrew Novak in this spot. I also want to give you, it might Actually, you know what? No, it's not worth giving you that sort of a bet. But I can actually be quite confident in this. I am going to take. Where are we? Where are you? What the hell? Great podcasting, Steve. Just great podcasting. I'm actually going to predict that there's going to be a playoff in this event. I think that this is going to be a very tightly knit and contested affair. I think the scoring average will probably be around like a 10 under par, I believe, for that first place spot, 10, 11 under. For there to be a playoff, it's plus 350. I think in a signature event, and I've been saying this for a long time, this event's giving big time major championship vibes. Top 70 players in the world. It's a very tight contest, brand new golf course that no one's really played on for a long time. You walk the grounds and you just feel the history in the air. Something about this event as a one-off for the greater Truist event that's going to go back down to Quail Hollow next year. It's giving major vibes. And the only way that you can accurately give a major atmosphere is a playoff. Plus 350, playoff. Give me it.
On top of this, there's a fun prop here for the top finishing Great Britain and Ireland.
Okay.
You can get Rory at minus 105 on that.
I don't think that's a bad call whatsoever.
Because the next closest is Tommy Fleetwood at plus 550. And if you like my guy Corey Connors is the top finishing Canadian, where there's only 4 Canadians in the field, and it's Connors, Taylor Pendrith, Nick Taylor, and Adam Hadwin, you can get Corey Connors at plus 120 to be the top finishing Canadian.
I like that a lot. Let's move to our ladder parlay of the week. Of course, the weekly lottery ticket bet, where just like me betting $1 to win $1,600, you can bet a top 40, 30, 20 to make some good money. KB, who do you like as our possible ladder parlay?
I mean, we were both in lockstep on Jordan.
I think that's a home run to take top 20 then. In that case.
Yeah.
And to get him
like
also at plus 100, I think is a really good value.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think for a top 30, in a situation where accuracy is going to be really important and your approach play is going to be possibly even more vital, somebody who fits the bill really well and will actually be able to do some damage at this golf course that I think is undervalued. I think is Siwoo Kim. You can get him at minus 110. Justin Rose at plus 100 as well, I think fits the tune. He always plays well in high pressure situations, particularly at places like this where you do need that really good approach play. I think an underrated like long shot, which we should probably consider somewhere for the top 40 range. I'm really big this week on Gary Woodland, and I have been in the past. I think I've struggled with Woodland with some picks. I think he's an interesting bet. I think Eric Van Rooyen, after a really strong week, has shown a lot and could put up some damage, be a top 40 play this week. So I'll leave it up to you, though, for what you think. But the way I look at things, actually, you can even get Andrew Novak at minus 115 for top 30, which I think is like insane. But if you take my word for where I'm going with this, and you go Jordan, Siwoo Kim, and then for your top 40, we ride with Eric Van Rooyen, who's also plus 100. You can get plus 660. So 10 to win 60.
I also have a Four Nations bet.
Ooh, okay.
So as I mentioned, your top UK and Ireland finisher, Rory McIlroy, minus 105. You can parlay these, Steve.
Okay.
So I'm also going to throw in Corey Connors, top Canadian, plus 120.
Okay.
What I'm also going to do is I'm also going to throw in Christian Bezadenhout, top African, at plus 125.
Oh, my God.
And then I'm going to top it all off with the top Englishman, Tommy Fleetwood at plus 140. A 4-pick, 4 nations parlay plus 22.19.
Can you give me the American, please?
Let me see here.
I have Connors, Bezaden, Hoot, and Fleetwood. Who's the 4th pick?
So Rory's top UK and Ireland.
Right.
Bezaden, Hoot, Fleetwood is top English, and then Connors is top Canadian.
All right, got it. Honestly, that's a. Who are the other African picks?
The
It's
other
him,
African picks
Higo, and Van Rooyen, right?
The other African picks are Bezaden, Hoot, Van Rooyen, and Higo.
The Bezaden Hoot one is questionable because of how well EVR played this past week, but I do.
But
like,
I also don't know how that's going to affect him.
That's true.
Like potential high, but also you missed out on glory. Like, do you overplay?
Also an easy golf course transferring over to a very challenging one. Okay, I can see that. I dig it.
So yeah, 4 nations: Canada, UK and Ireland, Africa, English, plus 22.19.
Now I feel the need to have to give an even better pick for the people, and you're gonna push me down the rabbit hole now at this point. I'm going to go then with Jordan Spieth top 20 alongside my Andrew Novak bet, which is plus 80 for top 20. And actually, you know what? I'm going to give you a straight up 3 top 20 picks. I'm going to give you Jordan Spieth, Andrew Novak, Justin Rose at 16-1. That's going to be my 3-leg parlay, 16-1. And if you wanted to really go and try and match you out at your 4-pick 4 nations play, I will also throw in Corey Connors to get that odds up to 35-1. If you want to go 4-leg, but I'll go 3 to play safe. Let's get it. Your winning pick at the 2025 Truist Championship, the Philadelphia Cricket Club, Flowertown, PA, the Wissahickon course, the pride of Philadelphia. Who's taking it?
This is your reminder that you can get Rory plus 450. It'd be silly to not sprinkle some cash on that, just like I mentioned last week. Plus 380 on Scottie. If you didn't take that, I feel bad for you. You can also get Rory, including ties, plus 100 at top 5 right now on DraftKings, which is pretty good. Pretty good. So I do like that as just a play. I don't know why he's speaking to me. I'm gonna go Victor Hovland plus 2,800.
You already have Hovland for a top.
Oh, do I? I thought I took.
No, you took Hovland top 20 for your gimme.
Oh yeah, I also like him to win the whole thing.
All right,
it's a gimme for a reason.
He's speaking to me for a lot of different reasons. There's 3 or 4 names that I think can win this event. Straight up without any sort of handicapping whatsoever. I think it's Rory, it's Colin, it's JT, and I do think Spieth's got an outside shot. I think Schauffele is also up there. I mean, it makes sense. It's 3 of the top 4 on the board. I think Cantley's a little bit out. Oberg just hasn't put up the numbers outside of the Masters to give me a lot of trust there. I think Sepp Straka is an interesting middle tier. I mean, Keegan Bradley did win the last event in Pennsylvania in 2018, so I think there's certainly possibilities there. But I'm going to go with another win for Justin Thomas. The putting and the accuracy, I mean the approach play has been so spot on. And you could argue that no one has been a better golfer over the last you know what? Hold on. I need to rethink. I'm sorry. I need to rethink my entire strategy here because I just realized something vitally wrong with my statistics. What are you, the fucking TGL shot clock over here?
You're about to kick a field goal in Madden to win the game.
Yeah, I came so close to it. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do something that I shouldn't do, but I'm going to do it because I think it's so possible. Um, the guy who I'm going to take is not Justin Thomas. It is instead going to be the guy who has had the number 2 best approach play on the PGA Tour the entirety of the year. He is in the 99th percentile in driving. He's in the 98th percentile in approach play. He's in the 90th percentile in putting. And he's been one of the best players in both distance and approach play from within 200, 150 to 200, and 100 to 150 yards. The Truist was formerly called the Wells Fargo. And while he is dominant at Quail Hollow, and I think he will be dominant again at Quail Hollow next week, Rory McIlroy is going to win the inaugural Truist Championship at the Philadelphia Cricket Club and carry that in to a possible victory at Quail Hollow. It's crazy because Rory truly is the best player in golf as of right now, and there's no denying that. But on top of that, take it a level even higher and understand that it's the same thing that I mentioned a long time ago with Bryson DeChambeau, how he would just like dominate all these courses because it was a shorter golf course and he'd be hitting wedges and everything. Rory McIlroy is going to be hitting driver on most holes, and while the accuracy isn't totally there, or the accuracy is on and he's truly at his best, which he is right now, he'll be having short wedges into a lot of these different greens. And as Joey said, the rough won't be as penalizing as you think it is. It'll certainly be penalizing, but it won't be nearly as bad as other folks. You need to hit it long, you need to hit it somewhat straight, but your approach play and your putting is going to be vital here. And that's why Rory McIlroy, I think, is going to win at plus 450. If I need to give you a better bet or a longer odds bet because I feel shitty giving you something that's so easy at plus 450, my pick here would end up being Justin Thomas. But what scares me about JT is more of the driving distance issue, because the distance isn't there when he's not accurate. It's like it's a very on and off thing. The approach play is great, the putting's great, but he's going to be all over the golf course. I think Xander's got a really good shot, but truly, if I'm being honest with you, I think at plus 450, if I'm going to give you a pick to win, I think it's Rory McIlroy. And also to see Rory win after what he did at the Masters, to come back out and get his second win in 3 weeks or 4 weeks at this golf course would be an executive director's biggest dream. And to see Joey Chitwood hand Rory McIlroy that stick.
Hey, I mean, that would play into my Four Nations parlay, so.
It would indeed. So I got to hand it to you a little bit on that one too. A really good.
We need a graphic of the Four Nations parlay.
We'll make it happen. We're gonna post it. We're gonna throw some fives on that one.
I've officially bet it, by the way.
I will tell you on this, and we'll bet alongside each other. This is gonna be our content series for the week. We're gonna be all over these bets and giving everyone what they want.
I feel good about that.
I feel good about a lot of things, including this week and all the great stuff that we have planned at the Truist. Folks, it's going to do it all for us here. Episode 203 of the Get in the Hole podcast. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe on all of our platforms at Get in the Hole Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and beyond. And, of course, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Leave a comment, a 5-star rating. The engagement really helps the overall program. And, of course, Underground Sports PHI on YouTube. Continue to get those subscriber numbers up. Check out all of our podcasts across all of our awesome sports, from lacrosse to streaming to F1, soccer, and beyond. And, of course, we will be live on scene at the Philadelphia Cricket Club, the Wissahickon course in Flourtown, Pennsylvania, from Wednesday all the way to Sunday, with a live show Sunday night straight from the golf course. It's going to be one hell of a week. We're so excited. Once again, for Kyle Bennett, that's Ethan Hogan, I'm Steve McAvoy. We'll see you next week. Well, we'll see you on Sunday when we announce the winner of the first Philadelphia Cricket Club event in over 100 years at the Truist Championship. Thanks for listening to Get in the Hole, the official golf podcast of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Catch us every week wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and be sure to like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Get in the Hole Pod, and follow Underground Sports Philadelphia at Underground PHI. We'll see you next time. And remember, get in the hole!